You might have heard the term fracking, specifically in the headlines from American or Australian mainstream media. So we decided to investigate what exactly fracking is and what it will mean for the future of Britain. We spoke to Daniele, a geologist who could shed some light on the process of fracking and its difference from conventional oil drilling.
Fracking is a technology used to extract natural gas and oil trapped down deep into the rock. It basically consists in drilling a vertical well, and then the well starts to be drilled horizontally to the shale rock. A fluid is pumped in such a high pressure down to the well that is crack the rock. Fracking, yes, it's been known since 1940, but actually it's been used just in the last decades. So we really don't know what's going to happen in the future.
We travelled to Leith Hill and Dorking to meet the people on the front line against fracking, or in this instance, unconventional drilling. They have been in the Surrey Hills, which is labelled an area of outstanding natural beauty, for nearly 2 years now. The camp exists as a hub to peacefully protest, monitor, and raise awareness of the threat of drilling. Before entering the camp, a member took us for a quick walk to show us the area that companies plan to drill. And this here is actually where the companies are planning on putting the well. So imagine here, instead of this beautiful pristine wilderness, what we're going to have is a gas flare and a hole underground and the whole rigging system. Back in camp, we sat down and spoke to people about what it would mean if this area was fracked and their motivations for coming to the protection camp.
The reason I'm here at Leith Hill is because this is like the pinnacle of their arrogance, really. This is an area of outstanding natural beauty. It's very, very dear to a lot of people. It means a lot to a lot of people because it's where they come to clear their heads and enjoy nature kind of thing. It belongs to everybody.
Our viewers might say, I've read the governmental line and they seem very keen about it. They say, let's it's called energy independence. We don't want to have to go to Middle East, start conflicts. So the question would be, why are you guys here? Why do you not want this? What would be, say, a side effect of this drilling that you guys are camped out here to stop?
Man-made climate change is already starting to have an impact across the world. So not so much in the UK, but in other countries in the global south. People are losing their homes, they're losing their lives, crops are failing. It's causing massive geopolitical unrest. And we know, scientists have told us that the majority of known fossil fuel reserves have to stay in the ground if we're not going to massively exceed our targets. So the idea of actually actively prospecting for new oil and gas just doesn't make sense. The government needs to be leading us really with a strong effort to go towards renewables and towards not using so much energy, basically.
So that's on a global level, but what say about a local level in Britain?
More locally, the number one concern is water pollution. Some of the chemicals associated with fracking, associated with cancer, and much more serious health problems. It's just madness, and I think if we're going to make a stand anywhere, this is where to make it.
A long-term resident who has been living off the grid for the better part of 6 years described what it was actually like living in the camp and the highs and lows of this lifestyle. What would you say to some of our viewers who would say a bit like, Petra, you're mad for living out here. Why would you do this? What would you say? How would you respond to them?
Well, I think to live in a society where you, example, maybe you make £1,000 and you spend 800 on your rent. And like what you need to do is like working 12 or 8 hours to pay your rent. That sounds a little bit silly as well. It is nice to live in a community because you share everything, you have a community food, and like you make like really long-term friendships, and maybe if one campaign is finished, we can go to another campaign together, so it's very strong. Yeah, do you feel it's almost like a kind of David and Goliath struggle, like you're the kind of the underdog against these massive oil companies with so much money? They are the giants, they can be a little bit like a giant. But they don't have the support of the people. Maybe they have the money, maybe they have some prestige, but they can lose very quickly. But they don't have the love of the people. They don't have that like 1,000 people, we want fracking, they don't have that.
Finally, we spoke to a camp member who goes by the name of Fill the Void about what was at stakes in this battle and the need to inform the British people about the real motivations behind widespread drilling on public land. So why exactly is it so damaging, and why exactly are you guys here against this unconventional drilling?
The real problems are that you're putting a lot of toxic waste into the ground, and a majority of it stays in the ground. At least 50% of it, at least, stays in the ground. So it will end up in the water aquifers.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen loads of footage from Australia and America,
Yeah.
where you can see actual streams that have bubbles coming up out of them with gas coming out, and then them lighting it. People have had to leave their homes, you know.
Yeah.
There's been acid rain, all the countryside's just been destroyed, you know. And the reason for this is really they have to do heavy industrialization if they're going to do this. You know, you don't fuck with nature, or nature will fuck with you.